it was devastating. As an athlete, our identity gets wrapped up in it so much, and realized I had focused so much on winning gold and focused so much on the end result of Rio, defining who I was and affirming who I was, that I realized, like, wow, not having it crushed me. Everyone can relate to the time they messed up, or the time that someone did them wrong, or the time that the plan didn't go their way, and then still being able to persevere and succeed through that, and find your way out of that darkness.
Hi, this is Cal Clark and Ida. We're here with Joe Delagrave, 2012 bronze Olympic medalist, and is a hopeful for the 2020 team. In 2016, you weren't able to make the team, and I was just interested in the circumstances surrounding that. What went on there?
Yeah, so in 2013, 14, 15, I was a captain of the team, co-captain of the team. We always have two captains, and in 2014, I was named best 2.0 in the world at World Championships, and then in 2015, my playing time slowly started to drop, and just seemed like the coaches didn't necessarily need me anymore, or didn't see me in the plan. And so in 2016, I made the training squad, which was awesome. And then througcoughout the year, the best shape of my life, and worked out 2 days, and in the best shape, but I could kind of see the writing on the wall that I probably wasn't going to make the team. And then, a month before, about a month, the 6 to 8 weeks before, we had our final cut, and I didn't get named. And so it was a devastating time, trying to figure out, why and what happened, and a lot of teammates were shocked, and I was kind of shocked, but not kind of shocked, just a bit based on some things that I went down. And
Yeah, you're always hopeful, right? And you see the writing
yeah,
on the
you're
wall,
always
but you're always
hopeful,
hopeful.
and you're always hopeful, and for me, I think to play at an elite level, you need to be confident in yourself, and I was confident that I could help the team out. And for whatever reason, the coaches didn't think so, and I think
Wow.
for me, right away, it was very easy to play that blame game that I talk about, and that victim mentality, and like, hey, this happened to me, and instead of I helped this happen to me. But no matter what, whatever side is correct or right, again, it's like, how do you respond to it? And it took me a little while after that. I was devastated, to say the least. And April and the kids had sacrificed a lot, that quad from 2013 to 16 for us to make it to Rio, and that didn't happen. And it was devastating. As an athlete, our identity gets wrapped up in it so much, and realized, looking back, that I had focused so much on winning gold and focused so much on the end result of Rio, defining who I was and affirming who I was, that I realized, like, wow, not having it crushed me almost just as much as breaking my neck when I was 19 years old. And so kind of picking the pieces back up, it was one of those moments that you look back and realize that you needed to go through in order to grow. It made me a better leader. It made me realize what being a leader was. I remember we had one more camp before Rio that I needed to go to, and I went to that camp, and I didn't have my leadership title anymore, so I wasn't a captain. I wasn't even going to Rio, but I did have to show up and be a good teammate. I had to show up and play my absolute best for the guys that were going. And I think, doing that was just a great test for me to have, and not just for other guys to see, but I think for myself to see that, hey, I need to be that same guy with or without the title, with or without going to Rio, with or without a gold medal or silver medal or bronze medal, whatever it would be. And I think it taught me a lot about the correct way to do leadership, and it took a while to get over. It really did. Those choices of, choosing to be a victor or a victim. Trust me, I was choosing a victim quite a bit right after 2016. to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But I think it's during those dark down times that um, God shows up and sometimes smacks you in the face when you need it. And there's so many lessons from that time and that period in our lives, and realizing um, that before winning a gold medal, I need to make sure that I'm a gold medal husband and a gold medal dad, and famous at home type of thing. And so like it's at the time it was the worst, and looking back on it 4 years later, it was ultimately probably the best that ever happened, best thing that ever happened
Hmm.
to me in a very unique way.
Well, your teammates really speak so highly of you during that time. That you were a good teammate, that you were supportive, that you were showing up even though you weren't going. Were uh, I mean, were you faking it a little bit? I mean, were you just doing the right thing? I say faking it. That's sort of a negative way of putting a spin on. Were you being a really solid person and just doing your best, or what was going on there?
Yeah, I think those type of moments can really reveal who you are as a person. And sometimes in those moments, yeah, like I think what you said, faking it, that's the real thing. Because on the inside, you're boiling and you're like, this sucks, and I don't deserve this, and I'm gonna start pointing fingers all over the place and firing them off and blaming but um, even though you're kind of like ultimately wrestling inside, and there's a lot of emotions, and there's anger, and there's resentment, and there's but at the same time, that you have a job to do. When we sign up to be on the national team, we sign up to be on the training squad. We never sign up knowing that we're going to go, or knowing that we're going to be chosen. It's you sign up to do a job on the training squad. And so um, I knew that if I was ever going to come back and I was ever going to help lead the team, that was something that I needed to do, whether I was like doing it for the right reasons, or doing it to fake it, or doing it, that was it. I needed to show up and be a man. And
Wow.
sometimes showing up and being a man is literally faking it because of what's raging on the inside of you.
Yeah, it gives you some insight into the four who aren't going to be there this year, right?
Yeah, it
There's
really
going to be
does.
some.
I mean, I think it gives me a little bit of clout when I'm talking to the guys that aren't going to the first couple tournaments, or when we eventually are named or not named to the team. I think hey, you still got a job to do, and we're a team of 16 that truly help whoever the 12 go there and be as successful as possible. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But yeah, I
So
think it's
I have a question, and this is not a leading question. I'm not trying to lead you somewhere with this at all, but who or what helped you? I mean, how did you navigate? Like we all get into those circumstances where the world is just sort of falling in around us from time to time, and how did you navigate? Like what was it hanging out with your wife and saying and like crying or being upset, or was it matters of faith? Was there scripture that was important to? I mean, was there a mentor? Did you have somebody that helped you through? Like what? How did you get through?
Yeah, there's a couple people. So April, obviously, number one as far as humans go, and being able to kind of walk through that with her. Um, but she had her own emotions as well. Like I mean, she wanted to go off on someone too. Like I mean, it was as much her right to go to Rio as it was mine, because she sacrificed way more than I did. I got to travel around the world playing a sport with a bunch of guys that are my best friends, where she's at home taking care of our little babies, and so like she had the harder job in it, and so it devastated her just as much, and but kind of walking through that with her was interesting, and supportive of each other and our emotions. And then when I was counseling at the time, and working in a private practice, my mentor there, Dr. Michael, just said something really simple to me, but I didn't want to hear it. And I'm kind of like, hey, got it out for me, and this stinks, Dr. Michael, and like I didn't, this wasn't my plan, and I'm feeling like I'm just broken, and he goes, Joe, like you call yourself a Christian, and Christ literally died on the cross 2,000 years ago for you, so you would not be broken, and like you can't have it both ways, and so he kind of slapped me in the face with that, and as I thought more and more about it, and I'm like, wow, like how much of my identity was wrapped up in that was crazy to think about, because all my affirmation and all my feelings of adequacy and were wrapped up in whether or not I was going to be a Paralympian again, instead of in my relationship with Jesus and in my relationship with my Lord, and I think that was a tough pill to swallow, because I thought I was doing it all the right ways throughout that time, but I was actually tunnel visioned on this gold medal, and it really became an idol for me for those 4 years. And it's a weird thing, because as Olympians and Paralympians, we want to win gold, like that, duh, like we want to win. No one raises their hand up and is like, hey, I want to be a loser. Like, no, that's not a thing. And if it does, I can't help you. I can't relate to that at all. But I do think there's a right way to go about it, and I do think that there's purpose in sport, and being able to be around guys and help mold them, and them help mold me, and you walk through it, and it's amazing. We've got some amazing guys on the team, and now girl on the team, and our staff, and I think the culture change from 2016 to now is so different, and it's based out of knowing people and relationships and love. And, I'm proud to say that I've been a part of it, and being able to make that shift. And a lot of it was something that I needed, but knowing that, man, if we can build a program like this, when we get to the Paralympics in 2020, winning is going to take care of itself, because we've established such a culture that believes in each other and loves each other and builds each other up, and keeps each other accountable. And so, it's been a big, beautiful thing. But yeah, April and Dr. Michael were extremely helpful with getting me, back on my feet, and realizing, like, okay, here we go, Joe, like this, if you're going to come back to this, we need to move, so like, no matter what happens in that moment, and I wanted to play the blame game, but as soon as I started looking in the mirror, I'm going, okay, like, let's figure out how I can get better, even though it might not have been my fault, or even though I don't agree with the decision, I can get better from what happened.
Yeah, it's always, a coach is always trying to give some message. So you say, well, I can either spit against the waves, or I can just like go with it and figure out how to get on the good side and get things going the right direction again. How long was it till you were back on the team and playing in tournaments?
Yeah, I tried out the very next year, so in 2017, I made the team and was named a captain, and so it was very quick after. But I needed to learn how to kind of bring down those walls that I'd put up, because it's like, oh, I got really crushed, it hurt, and I needed to trust teammates and coaches again, and kind of build up those relationships, and come from a clean slate in a way. But and so we've been kind of building it from 2017 all the way to this year.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. That's it's an interesting part of your story, and it was there were a couple of videos that I've seen online that allude to it, but it really begged a lot of questions for me, so I was interested. So thanks for having a little bit longer conversation. I'm sure it's not your favorite thing in the world to talk about in life, but it is life defining, I guess, as you said.
Yeah, like it's I think it's a necessary part of the story. And with most people, that I think they end up relating to it, and they end up getting more out of that than everyone can relate to the time they messed up, or the time that someone did them wrong, or the time that the plan didn't go their way, and then still being able to persevere and succeed through that, and find your way out of that darkness is relatable for pretty much everyone.
Hey, thanks for being with us.